The United Auto Workers Union has launched a historic strike aimed at getting the workers better pay, better benefits, absolutely things they deserve. And I'll show you an interesting clip from CNN where Jake Tapper asked the question, confronts sort of, posed the question to one of the CEOs being negotiated with, the Ford CEO. Hey, as the union president's calling for, why not increase the wages of your workers at the same percentage as you increased your own pay? Which, great question, and we'll see his response in just a moment. But first, hear from Reuters. The United Auto Workers Union launched simultaneous strikes at 3 factories owned by General Motors, Ford Motor, and Chrysler parent Stellantis on Friday, kicking off the most ambitious U.S. industrial labor action in decades. The walkouts at the Detroit 3 will halt production of the Ford Bronco, Jeep Wrangler, and Chevrolet Colorado pickup truck, along with other popular models, though the action was smaller than some expected, with roughly 12,700 workers striking at the outset. So what the union president is doing here is strategically starting off limited and having certain locations, I think it's 9% of the workers striking, with the threat looming that he can increase that, and will if the executives don't give in to their demands. Then hear from NPR. He has repeatedly doubled down, the union president that is, on the union's key economic demands, including 40% pay raises he says would be in line with CEO wage increases, the restoration of pension and retiree health care, and cost of living adjustments. And with that being said, here's Jake Tapper asking, why not the same percentage that was increased when it comes to the executives, and applying that to the workers?
I just interviewed Sean, the head of the UAW, the other day, and I just wanted to pass on a question based on something he had told me the other day, which is that over the last 4 years, each of the big 3 car manufacturer CEOs, in addition to their multi-million-dollar salaries, they received on average a 40% pay increase. So why are the auto workers wanting a raise beyond what's been asked? Why is that so offensive compared to the 40% raises they have given themselves?
Mm-hmm. Jake spoke to Sean Fain the other day live on air, and he is asking, the union is saying that CEOs like yourself of the big 3 have received 40% pay increases yourself. So why is it so egregious for the union workers to be asking for the same thing?
Actually, we're really open to huge increases.
40%?
Well, you know, it depends how you count that. I wasn't a CEO 4 years ago, so I can't speak for myself, but I will tell you that we have put on the table increases, double-digit increases that we've never seen before, 20+%. If you include COLA, it's even larger than that.
But that's not 40, what they're asking for.
Right, and I'm saying 40% will put us out of business. We would lose $15 billion. We would have to clip.
All right. And then, before playing the response from the UAW chief, Sean Fain, this reminds me of 30 Rock is a show I really like. And there's a episode where Jack Donaghy, the CEO, or not CEO, he's a vice president or something, but an executive, he is talking to one of the pages, and the page is asking about overtime work and saying, they're telling me I'm not supposed to get my overtime pay, but I'm working overtime. So I feel like signing my name to a form that's saying I'm not working overtime for the purposes of saving the money is me lying. And Jack Donaghy, the executive, says, sorry, it's tough times. We just don't have money in the budget to give you your overtime pay. And so you got to do it, Kenneth. And then Kenneth finds out, the page, that Jack Donaghy, because his paycheck accidentally gets delivered to Kenneth, is getting these massive bonuses. And so then he goes up to him and confronts him and says, you know, you said we didn't have extra money, but you're getting a bonus. Bonus means extra. We have extra money. And it reminds me of what we're seeing play out here. Then here is the head of the union responding to what was just said.
You heard the CEO of Ford say that it would bankrupt them if they met your demands. What did you think of that?
I think it's a joke. You know what? They could double our pay right now. Labor, the cost of labor that goes into a vehicle is 5% of the vehicle. They could double our wages, and they could not raise the price of vehicles, and they would still make billions of dollars. It's a lie like everything else that comes out of their mouth.
And so regardless of the exact specifics of the budgetary decisions that would have to be made to continue thriving as a company on the part of Ford and Chrysler, whoever, This is the very worker advocacy that we talk about on a daily basis being so necessary on the part of unions, why they're so valuable. Things like this can happen. The amount of power that's being leveraged right now by Shawn Fain and his union is so far and beyond what any individual worker could do to advocate for themselves without the structure and unity of a union. And so when we talk about, in a more vague sense, unions and the way that that increases pay on average and the way that benefits and workplace conditions are better, we're seeing it play out here. This is the power struggle that actually ends up taking place, and it's absolute within the union's right to see what they can get for the workers. And it's exciting to see such a historic, massive action in that direction. And regardless of how it turns out exactly, will they get the 40% figure or something different? This is what we should be rooting on day after day. Strong, powerful advocacy for workers. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show and get a bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.